Okay, so I need to get this recorded before I forget any of it, because I just had the weirdest, possibly the scariest freaking Uber trip of my life. So I get a trip request from a very affluent neighborhood here in Florence, like humongous freaking brick houses. I pull up to one of said humongous brick houses and pull up in the driveway, and I sit there. A few minutes go by, nobody comes out, so I send them one of the little like prefab texts that just says I've arrived. A few minutes later, this dude comes out. He comes up to my window, and he's like, and I was like, how you doing tonight, sir? And he goes, what's up? I was like, got a Uber request from your address. Right, can you wait 5 minutes? I was like, sure, no problem. He's like, or no, I said that, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I was like, yeah, no worries. Okay, thanks. Goes back to the house. Well, when he had come out, there was a woman that came out with him, and they seemed to be not so happy with each other, or maybe I was reading things wrong. I don't know. Anyway, he goes back in the house. 5 or so minutes later, he comes back out, gets halfway down the sidewalk, stops, turns around, goes back, knocks on the door. Woman lets him in. He's inside a few more minutes, comes back out, gets in the car, and I was like, oh, how you doing tonight? He said, I'm fine. Like, okay, cool. And this is where the accent comes out, because up until now, I didn't even think anything of it. The name was Ilya, I-L-Y-A. I thought it was a woman's name. Silly me. But anyway, he, and it's dark as crap. I don't have any lights on, except my headlights, so it's dark in the car. And he goes, do you know where we are going? And I was like, let me check real quick. And he spouts off an address, and I bring up the route, and I was like, well, actually, I don't know if the app goofed or what's going on, but it's literally got me going in a circle and right back to this address. So what's the address? I'll punch it in and we'll head out. Sure. And he's like fiddling around back there for the longest time. I'm like, dude, you just spouted off the address. Now you don't know it? What in the world? A few minutes later, 2364 Freedom Boulevard. I was like, okay, so I'll punch it in. And we head out. And as I'm pulling off, he says, and we will stop by Food Lion. I want a bottle of wine. I was like, 10 minutes to midnight. Food Lion ain't open, but I ain't telling him this. I'm gonna pull up at Food Lion, let him see that it's closed for himself. So, and I end up having to change the route, because the route that Uber had me going wouldn't go by any Food Lions. Well, I changed it to where we're gonna go by 2 Food Lions. Well, we passed the first Food Lion, and it's obviously closed. All the lights are out. Parking lot's not lit up. Nothing. It's dark. And I was like, hey man, dude, Food Lion's closed. Is there anywhere else you know of that's open where you can get your bottle of wine? No answer. So I look in the rearview mirror and I don't see his head where it should be. I turn around, he's passed out. Well, I'm assuming passed out, because dear God, don't let him be dead. Anyway, I'm like, dodge that bullet. Let's go on, drop him off and be done with it. So we get to where the address is that he gave me, and there's nothing there. Like, it's just road and woods on either side. And I'm like, crap. Well, I just passed an apartment complex, and there's an apartment complex immediately ahead of me. So I pull into that one and I stop, and I'm like, sir. He jumps up. What? I said, hey man, the address you gave me, there's nothing on Freedom Boulevard. I said, so is it one of these apartment complexes? Yes. I said, was it this one? Yes. I said, well, do you have an apartment number? Of course, B8. I'm not a vagabond. I was like, I mean, I don't think you are a vagabond, sir. I need an apartment number to drop you off at. And he says, he looks and he says, turn around, go the other way. So I turn around, I'm headed back out. He said, I will guide you. Okay, cool. Take the first right. I take a right. We're pulling back up to Freedom Boulevard. I was like, hey man, Freedom Boulevard's dead ahead. We're going right or left? Take a right. No, take a left. I take the left. I'm going towards the other apartment complex. I'm like, hey, is this it? This the apartment you're going to? Yes, this is it. So I pull in. There's a gate. I kind of tailgate behind the person that's pulling in. And he said, he pats me on the shoulder. Good job. I say, hey, no worries, man, no problem at all. Just happy to help. My dog died recently. I said, man, I'm very sorry to hear about that. He said, yes, very sorry to hear about that too. Like, okay, I want a bottle of wine. Can we go to the liquor store or it's too late? I said, man, it's midnight, dude. Like, liquor store's closed at 7 o'clock. I said, matter of fact, I drove by 2 food lines. They were both closed, so it looks like your bottle of wine's out of the question for tonight. Okay. I will guide you. I said, okay, cool, because there's 2360. 2364 has to be, up ahead somewhere, and I'm like, I am, praise Jesus. We are in the right complex, and I can get rid of this dude. He said, take a left, first building on your right. So, okay. Pull in, and sure enough, it's 2364, and I'm like, oh. I pull up, and I'm like, hey, man, we're here. That wasn't too bad, was it? He said, no. Until I shoot you. I said, dude, hey, we don't need to be doing no shooting. That wouldn't be good. That'd be bad, man. Like, he said, yes, be very bad, horrible. I'm like, yeah, so no need for any shooting. Just keep it a good night. He says, how much do I owe you? I said, man, you don't owe me nothing. It's all taken care of on the app. It's paid for. So no worries. He pulls out his wallet anyway, digs around, asks me to turn the light on, hands me a $10 bill, and I'm like, hey, thanks, dude. I appreciate that, man. You have a good night. Take care. Do the same. He gets out. He goes walking towards the apartment building as I'm backing out. And I back up. I go to cut it right and pull out, and I notice he's just stopped. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I ease forward, and he turns around real fast, and he throws his hand up, and I'm like, oh. I put the window down, I'm like, what's up? He said, it's people like you that make me glad I come to South Carolina. And I was like, oh, well, I'm glad you're glad. Friendly folks, huh? I moved from North Carolina to North Carolina, and there are so many friendly people here. And then he reaches towards me and then just pats the inside of my window frame, turns around and staggers off. And I put the pedal to the metal and boogie the fuck out of there because I was scared shitless and my heart's still pounding. I mean, just deadpan as hell. Until I shoot you. So, you guys have a wonderful day. EDC your asses off. I love y'all. Bye-bye now.